Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Tuesday, January 30th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around. That's because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol SOFI. Big mover today, big volume, so a lot of eyeballs got to think going to be watching this one on Tuesday. Now there's a nice little pattern here that's in play, and you have a pattern that you got to think a lot of people are watching. So let me be very clear. I'm not trying to press you. I'm not trying to imply this is some sort of great discovery or special skill to have done this. I assure you a lot of people have done that, and I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same pattern and wondering the same things, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So let me get the bottom of that pattern changed to green for the support and then make it easier to see. Let's just keep it one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the huge explosion right there. For you golfers out there, put a little golf ball down here, make it a little bit more visual. This would be a bull pennant pattern. So again, while there are no guarantees, is it plausible? Is it valid? Even if it's just call it the self-fulfilling prophecy that if the price comes up here and breaks up through the top part of that pattern, that break could create additional buying pressure. Not a guarantee, but certainly a reasonable thought on your part. So if you like stocks down below $10, you like bull pennant patterns, keep an eye on it. Next one here, ticker symbol PALI. And same general idea of what I just talked about. So I don't want to, harp on it too much, but once again, very well-defined level, an area that I think a lot of people drew. So that didn't take any special talent. There's no secret discovery right there. So we once again have that talking point of potential self-fulfilling prophecies, meaning again, no guarantees, but is it plausible that if the price can curl back upwards, get to that level, and then push up through it, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? Absolutely. So difference here is this one's right around a penny stock, slightly above $1. But if you like this price range and you like these sorts of ideas where you're looking for some sort of, pullback to be over, looking for confirmation of that pullback being over, the confirmation point being that trend line there, then certainly keep an eye on PALI. Next one here, ticker symbol TSLA, Tesla. And we have a very, very interesting situation headed into Tuesday as step number one for the bulls has been accomplished. Now, honestly, I thought the price would remain down inside of this channel for at least a couple of days. I did not think it would break out in either direction so soon. But yeah, I got that wrong because yes, the price this morning came up, broke up through the upside of the pattern and is now working its way upwards. So really there's two main questions in my mind. Question number one is can the price, question one, can the price now stay outside of the channel? Or is the price about to fall right back inside of it? Meaning, is the price going to come down here and then just go right back inside of the channel? Where at that point, the breakout that occurred today would be confirmed as just simply a dead cat bounce. But that hasn't happened yet, which brings us to question number two. And question number two revolves around that purple line right there, the 50-period moving average. I'm going to get those out so we can see it better. But you can see the price is literally right at that level. So is the price going to be able to push through it? Is there enough momentum here to get some separation and some continuation through it? Or is that 50-period moving average about to smack it right back down inside of that channel? To me, that's another very interesting question. So two key questions mark moving forward. Yeah, grab your popcorn, grab your Sour Patch Kids. Let's see if the price can actually fight through that 50-period moving average. Next one, ticker symbol CNXA. And overall, good pattern here, another penny stock. And for those of you that like to play pullbacks, I think the most interesting potential pullback point going to be that pink line down there, which on my chart denotes the very famous, well-known 200-period moving average. So like I said, if you like to play more deeper pull, now granted, you could already argue that it has already pulled back from those highs, and that's fair enough. I'm just saying that if you like to be a little bit more aggressive and want even deeper pullbacks, then I think that 200-period moving average makes a lot of sense. But yes, I would not call you crazy at all if you're like, no, I think that's the support right there. I think that's a pullback point as the price has bounced off there a couple times. Again, fair enough. Both those levels I can completely see as reasoning in terms of thinking as a level of support. In terms of levels of resistance, pretty straightforward here. Just a question of where did the momentum stop on a couple different occasions. That's right up here, give or take around the 30.5 cent mark. Right there, didn't quite hit it. And then right here went slightly above it. So in the spirit of just kind of trying to find the middle ground, I would call it right up there at 30.5 cents as the main battleground point for resistance. Next one here, AMC, an overall very, very good day. And I say that because it started off very bad. How so? Well, the price opening 30 minutes broke down through the bottom part of that channel. And at one point was all the way down there. But to give credit where credit's due, the price battled all the way back up inside of the channel and has now even broken through that purple line there, which we just talked about on Tesla being the key level of resistance, and is now approaching this level up here, which is up at 425. So crazy day when you actually stop and think about how things started and how things went from there, recovering, breaking that 50-period moving average, and now getting within striking distance of 425. So that'll be the big question mark moving forward. Can the price break above 425 and then build upon this momentum? Let's see what happens. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering here later on in the week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free webinar. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free webinar. Next one here, ticker symbol LCID. And to me, this is one where, once again, not a secret discovery. Very straightforward. You got to think that, and maybe you notice this right away. But look at that. Right up at 340, you have the price coming up here and getting rejected, and then recovering back up here this afternoon. And once again, 2 candles in a row getting rejected by that level. So I think you can't say for sure, but I think it's more than valid to throw out the, the thought that everybody and their brother's uncle is watching 340 and wondering, is that level going to break? In other words, that could very much so be a self-fulfilling prophecy type area where if the price does break above it, you're going to have everybody that's a breakout player saying, hey, I'm a breakout player. Oh, look, that's breaking out. Oh, that's my strategy. I'm supposed to buy, and then people just start buying. So 340 going to be that level that you got to think a whole bunch of people are watching. And then for you that like to play pullbacks, you can see right here that pink line there has done a good job, generally speaking, of acting as support. So if there is some sort of deeper pullback, then the 200-period moving average could serve as an interesting trade plan development point. But yeah, at this point, especially with the price slightly below that level, you got to think a lot of people will be watching 340. Next one here, ticker symbol PHUN, and I'm going to keep this pretty brief because not a whole lot to talk about, relative to the past times I've done this, but just as a quick little update here. So right now, that purple line, which I've talked about, continues to be that near-term level of resistance. Price never even really got close to it. This morning, I guess, kind of right there, but not really. So as it continues to pull back. But what's seeming to be the case now, as there's some downwards pressure that has very clearly showed up, is I think the price is going to go down there and test this lower part of the support at the 27-cent mark. But is it going to hold? And if it doesn't, then at that point, seems like very possible that that 200-period moving average down there gets a test. But overall, rough start to the week, gapped up, and then has continued the trend downwards. And the trend seemingly has this thing headed down to the 27-cent mark. So yeah, definitely some weakness has shown up here, at least in the very near term for PHUN. Next one here, ticker symbol MARA. And this is what I mean by, I know I talked about that pink line on several of the past ones, but here's a good example of it actually coming into play. But look at it here as it acted as resistance. Now, in some of these other situations, because the price was above it, you would expect it to act as support. But in this situation, Mara was below it, so you would expect it to act as resistance, and that's exactly what happened there. So I'm not saying that moving forward, the price can never, ever get up above that level. I'm just saying that this price action there makes sense, and that moving forward, the price really is going to need to bring its A game if it's going to be able to fight above that level. So moral of the story there, if you haven't connected those dots, 200-period moving average, key level of resistance moving forward. In terms of levels of support, a couple ways to go about it. Maybe you're thinking this is overly complicated because there's another way, but I think this one, that trend line there has quite the track record now. After today, you can see right there, bounced, and then right there, bounced. But even if you don't want to use that and say, Clay, why don't you just use that purple line there, 50-period moving average, because it's essentially behaving the same as a trend line. It's a moving average, meaning that line is going to move itself higher and higher. So you can see it's basically going to be a mirror image of that trend line, or you can just use both. I mean, whatever floats your boat, but those are going to be the main levels that I think stand out the most. But yeah, strong start for Mara, got rejected, pulled all the way back, still has the chance to build that higher base. So we'll see if the price can maybe do battle with that 200-period moving average on Tuesday. Next one here, ticker symbol ONMD. And once again, I'm not going to belabor the point because you've heard me talk about these self-fulfilling prophecies, but you got to think that a lot of people have noticed that $1.50 mark and have drawn a level of resistance there. I mean, look at it. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. 5 times the price has been up there and rejected. So as I've said, no guarantees, but it is plausible that the price can curl up, break up through there, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure. And then in terms of levels of support, got a little bit of a trend line, not a little bit of a trend line. You have a trend line right there, which you could use as a support level on any sort of pullback if that's more so your strategy. But yeah, that $1.50 mark definitely stands out like a sore thumb. Next one here, ticker symbol TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ market. So if you believe the NASDAQ market as a whole is going to go up, this one will also go up. And yes, NASDAQ had a very good day today, specifically that 30-minute session right there. And that 30-minute session is also right where the price has broken up through this downwards channel that I drew a few days ago. So I realize those lines mean a little bit more to those of you that have traded or that have watched the past videos. But yes, we now officially have a break, actually two breakouts to be fair. First breakout was getting up through that purple line there, 50-period moving average, and then immediately the next candle after that broke up through there. So from a technical point of view, very, very impressive signs of strength there. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these levels as they've served their purpose for now. In terms of the next level of support and the ideal level, just based on a foundational rule in charting, the levels of resistance are broken. And as we just talked about, that purple line was a level of resistance or broken and closed above. You want to see them act as support. So moving forward, if the price can now stay above that purple line, that would certainly make the chart look the strongest. And then in terms of next levels of resistance, I suppose you could probably draw in, say, this area right around there could act as resistance, but in my mind, that's just too many lines. Let's just keep it straightforward and keep our eye now on 57.85 as that next broad level of resistance, which you can see here would then start to put things at new highs that haven't been seen for a very long time. But overall, great movement today. Very, very impressive sign of strength with the break of those levels of resistance. So let's see if the momentum carries into Tuesday. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here, then definitely go get signed up for that free live webinar. It'll be later this week, Thursday, February 1st at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do two things for me. Hit the like button and leave a comment down below. Tell me what you traded today. Give me your watch list for tomorrow. Those couple things really help out these videos, help out the channel, and I appreciate it very much. So go get signed up for that webinar. Hit that like button, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.